And we are live. Welcome everybody for this weekly live stream on the latest and greatest news about Ethereum and DeFi. And today we'll be talking of big news. So Metamask, big news from Metamask, which is entering the DeFi market. This is freaking huge. Also big news for NFTs and the top of other cool stuff on Ethereum and DeFi, and we'll do the Q&A at the end as usual. And if you don't know me, and how comes you don't know me? Of course you know me, but but if you still don't know me, I'm Julian, your host, and on my channel Eat the Blocks, I teach DeFi, blockchain development, and how to find your first blockchain job. And before we continue, quick shout out to my two courses. So if you want to become a blockchain developer and make $100,000 per year like I used to make, there is my course, Six-Figure Blockchain Development, and if you're interested in profitable flash loan, I have another course on that to do arbitrage with flash loan. This is super fun. So we are going to start with the news for Ethereum first. So Ethereum, so it's been a positive week. Finally we are we stopped being in the $340 zone. That wasn't really nice, so we're back in bullish territory. So we are seeing this rebound. Why this happened? So first, there were good news about the US stimulus deal. So Donald Trump suggested that finally the deal might go through. So after this announcement, the stock market rallied. And after that, the Bitcoin market rallied and broke out of a descending triangle pattern, which is very bullish. And finally, that made Ether goes up. So we benefit from all of this. So we cross finger, and I hope that after the election, whatever is the result, this is going to be bullish for the stock market, because Ether is going to benefit from it. So then, for every week, so let's quickly have a look at gas price, because that's super important. So finally, this is cooling off. So for the first time, we can see gas price consistently below 100 GUI. It hasn't been the case for a very long time, so that's really a nice relief. It also comes down because DeFi is cooling off a little bit. So talking of DeFi, let's check out the market cap on DeFi Pulse. So this week we're at barely above 111 billion. It's barely more than 10.9 billion last week. So we've kind of reached a plateau. DeFi is cooling off a little bit, but you know what? Maybe it's better that way, because I feel like with the whole yield farming craziness, it was really going, it started to be insane with all this DeFi food stuff. So I think, sometimes it's okay just to rest a little bit, because when it's going as fast as this summer, sometimes can be really exhausting. But this being said, even if the market cap is pretty flat, actually, in terms of, now I wanted to talk about the DeFi token first. Yes, in terms of the DeFi tokens, actually, we had a pretty good week. So here we can see the top earners. So a lot of green. We have really a nice performance here. So Gen, that's the protocol to do wrap Ether. Pico, which is one of the DeFi food. I don't remember which fork it is. It's the fork of a famous project. Frontier, this one, I don't know. Yeah, there's some project I don't know there, but we can see some crazy gain, 90%. Really Link, nice performance. Ben, IDX, some really nice performance here. And in terms of the worst performers, it's actually better than last week. So we have Swerve Finance and Curve. So Swerve is a fork of Curve. So the reason why these two protocols are in the red is because there was a security vulnerability that was discovered in Curve Finance last week. So they are working on fixing it. But other than that, for the negative token, not too much. So next, in terms of rate, this is actually slightly better than last week. So DAI is doing pretty well. So almost 5% on Aave, from 4.32% on DYDX. Then USDT on Compound V2 almost 6.5. This is pretty good yield. But after for the other token, this is really low. All right. So next. Oh yeah. So next I want to show you the DeFi index of Binance that lost 50% in a month. So this is basically an index that is built by Binance for DeFi. So if you want to invest in DeFi and don't really want to bother with the gas fee and don't want to bother with all the different protocol, then you can just buy the DeFi index of Binance. And yeah, last month it lost 50%. So I mean, overall, even if the past week was good for the DeFi token in general, the past month was actually pretty bad for DeFi. But let's not forget, like we reached some really craziness with the governance token, like Wi-Fi more expensive than Bitcoin. I mean, that's just doesn't make any sense. All right, so next we gonna start with the news for the DeFi project. So Metamask reached 1 million active monthly user. That's absolutely gigantic. Like you can see this nice exponential curve going to the moon. So the big question is, where do these users come from? Well, America, India, Nigeria, which is I think the fastest growing country in the world. Philippines is also growing very fast. They have a very young population, and I think in the report they say, yeah, okay. Here they indicate what the user use Metamask for. So they use Metamask for DeFi, of course, for Uniswap, Yearn, CurveMaker, Aave. So that's really good news for the blockchain ecosystem. So Metamask is really one of the projects, if not the project, that is going to capture the most value in the blockchain ecosystem. So for a long time they didn't make money, and they could afford it because they have a lot of money, because they are owned by Consensus, which obviously can afford to fund Metamask for a long time without making any money. But at some point you have to think about revenue, and that's why Metamask just announced that they're going to add a new feature for Metamask, token swap. So it's basically an aggregator to buy tokens on decentralized exchanges at the best price. So they charge a fee. So this is a dynamic fee that range from 0.3% to 0.875% based on the order size. So what are the advantages? So first, it's supposed to give you the best price because it has because this is basically an aggregator of aggregators. So it's not even possible to do an aggregator better than that. They really have access to all the prices of the market. It has the deepest liquidity, so that means if you want to do a huge order, it will be able to tap into the liquidity of many exchanges. So Uniswap, it taps it to Uniswap, AirSwap, Hyper, 0x API, one each exchange, Dex.ag, Paraswap, Total, and also private market makers. So really, MetaMask will have the biggest liquidity of the whole DeFi ecosystem. Then on MetaMask, you will have the most tokens because they have access to all these liquidity providers. You also have the lowest gas possible because when it does its calculation for optimizing your trading path, it also takes into consideration the gas spending. You have fewer approvals, so users no longer need to approve every token on multiple aggregators. So with MetaMask, users only need to approve each token once, which is going to reduce the gas cost and really simplify the approval process. Also, the UX is way better because user will be able to access all liquidity directly from the MetaMask of UI, but previously you had to visit the individual UI of all the decks, and you're not always familiar with all this UI. For example, the UI of Curve Finance is notoriously difficult to use. Actually, a lot of people are turned off by Actually, it's just I was surprised because there was some people popping up in the chat. Yeah, hi guys, Jerut, hi THX. Yeah, so I was saying that yeah, like a lot of people were turned off by Curve Finance because the UI is just look like so geeky. But now you can do everything from Metamask. So typically, I think this is really awesome. And even if now we're seeing like a slight slowing down of DeFi, the fact that MetaMask is releasing this, that's typically the kind of feature that can make blockchain more accessible for the average end user. So we'll see. We'll see what's the reaction from users, but I'm pretty sure it's going to give a second rebound to DeFi. All right. So next, I want to talk about NFT, non-fungible tokens. So now that DeFi is cooling off a little bit, it seems that the attention is turning to NFT. So first, if you don't know what's an NFT non-fungible token. So that's a token on the blockchain, but contrary to an ERC20, that's a token that represents something that is unique, like a piece of art or a character in the game, like anything that is really unique. As of recently, a NFT was sold for 130k US dollar at a Christie auctions. Christie is like this very old, I don't know how to describe this company, I guess. Yeah, a very old company that does auction on like collection items. And so of course they do physical item, but for the first time they did an auction for a non-physical item, for a NFT. So yeah, it's pretty sweet. And so I'm sure you're curious to see what was bought exactly. So it's this picture here. So it's like a work of art called like Portrait of Mine. And it's like 40 different circular panel stretching more than 50 meters in length. So I don't think that was you with the 130k. You don't actually buy the piece of art, you buy only the picture. So it's really a nice price for the picture, right? Yeah. So then I wanted to show you this website for NFT, Juicy NFT. So that's basically like DeFi Pearls, but for NFT. So it's still very new. As you can see, we don't find a lot of info, and I'm not sure that their figures are 100% accurate, but that really can give you an idea of where the market is going. So here you can see that for the total transaction volume, we are still way lower than DeFi, but we have some nice progression here from a few 100,000 to 1 million. And yeah, and for today, I think this is a bug in the code, but I don't think this is. Oh no, okay, it's 200,000. I thought it was zero. Yeah. And so you can see after a leaderboard of the most active exchange for NFT, and you can see Rarible, which is very up and coming project in the NFT sphere. So you have OpenSea, which is the market leader, but I don't know why we don't see OpenSea here. So OpenSea is much more generalist. You have all kind of NFT on OpenSea, but Rarible, this website, is much more specialized. It's NFT that are for piece of art basically. And yeah, so Rarible is really up and coming these days. Yes, much more niche, and it also got into NFT for DeFi. So NFT for DeFi is really the bleeding edge of NFT and DeFi. That allow you to do product like, for example, insurance product, every kind of financial product which is very unique and that doesn't really trade in traditional exchange because this is not really fungible. So this NFT for DeFi, it has a huge potential. I think that it might trigger the next big boom in the DeFi market when we'll see more derivative and more really advanced financial product. All right. So next, I want to talk about Dharma. So Dharma is a crypto wallet on your phone mainly with a smart contract part. So we call this kind of wallet a smart wallet. I actually have a video about smart wallet. You can check it out. And so smart wallet are very, very important for UX. So they introduce features that are not possible if you don't have a smart contract part. For example, you have something that is called a social recovery. If you lost your if you forget your password and you can recover your private key, they have a process for that. You can also lock your wallet for a certain time, and really a lot of feature that makes using a crypto wallet way easier. So really, smart contract wallet are the future of wallet for Ethereum and other blockchain. And so Dharma, with this smart wallet, introduced a new feature of limit orders. So of course, limit order, this is not something you can have on exchanges like Uniswap, etc., because with the design of these exchanges, they work with a liquidity pools, but you don't have limit order. You can just have market order. But by creating a smart contract on top of Uniswap, Dharma was able to reproduce the same feature of a limit order. So I think that's very nice. It's one of the missing features to make really DeFi usable. And that actually remind me of another project that is called Unilwayer. So Unilwayer builds on top of Uniswap and basically adds the missing feature. So if you check out the UI of Uniswap, that's very basic. Actually, I think this is on purpose because Uniswap really wants to be a very foundational protocol. It was basically a protocol built for developer, not really for end users. So it's possible to build on top of Uniswap and make it more accessible for end users. And so that's what Unilwayer does. So they add, like, for example, this graph here. You can see like the trending pair. And yeah, like generally, like it just looks much nicer. You can do like some charting here, I believe. So that really give you the typical experience that you will have as a trader in a centralized exchange. And I think that was very inspiring to show you this, because if you don't necessarily want to you don't want to necessarily compete with Uniswap, so building on top of Uniswap and making just a UI like this is a very, very smart decision. All right, so next news, Cronje is leaving crypto. And so he said that on Twitter, and after, of course, the Wi-Fi token just crashed. But after he tweeted another stuff and said, no, actually, no, I'm staying in DeFi. And this is actually the second time he does this. So I don't know what kind of game he's playing. Like, was it planned in advance? But he got to be careful with this kind of announcement, because, of course, he knows that when you say this, it's going to make the price of the token crash. So yeah, better be careful with that. With what you say when you are a blockchain leader like this. So I already mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, and I think Andre is at risk of burning out, because it seems like he's really doing like so many projects. And I mean, that's good that he's working a lot and he's creative and productive and people love what he does. But I feel like it's kind of going in too many directions. And you can't always innovate. Like when you build something, even if this is something simple, and it's something that non-coders that don't understand this. Even if you build something simple, when you want to make it usable, it actually takes a lot of work to just maintain some simple features, because people will use your dApp with all sort of different platforms. Like maybe some they will use Chrome, some other Firefox, some from their mobile, some from new laptops, some from old laptop, and they will figure out some subtle bug that you haven't figured out. Also, people will use your dApp in a way you haven't thought about, and like there will be maybe a certain scenario where they uncover a bug. And so that makes a simple feature actually more complex when you want to fix all these things. So that's why I don't think that Andre can support like so many different projects really. So yeah, you should stop going in so many directions and learn how to delegate more really, because you can't do this like, all by itself. And also you should ignore the trolls on Twitters. Like me, like sometimes I also have some trolls, not too much on Twitter, but on YouTube in the comments. Rarely, sometimes I have some trolls in the comments on YouTube or on Reddit. And at the beginning, I used to answer them and I try to have a conversation, but now like I just learned that this is just useless. If someone makes a negative comment and I can see that it's coming from a a good intention, that person wants to help, then this is cool. We can discuss. But if I feel like it's coming from a place of negativity, I just ignore it. I don't even answer. So yeah, if you build anything in blockchain, at some point when you start to have some success, you will have some trolls, and you just have to accept it. Like if you have no trolls, I mean, it means you're not successful yet. So yeah, I should you should be happy to have some trolls. Then McCafee. So McCafee was arrested in Spain on for criminal charge from the US. So basically, he's accused of not declaring everything to the IRS and dodging taxes, basically hiding a lot of profit. So yeah, I mean, McCafee always came across as someone really, really eccentric in the crypto sphere. I think he was involved in like promoting some ICOs in 2017. I think a lot of his money come from here. So yeah, I mean, when you have this much money, I don't really see the point of not paying all your taxes. I mean, the whole, when you think about it, the whole point of becoming rich and making money is to make your life better. And so I mean, really, if you have like, I don't know, like 2 million and you need to pay like, even you have to pay like half of it in tax, like you still have 1 million and life is really good. So if you just hold on to your like all your money, you don't want to pay any tax, then you're gonna lose all of it. So yeah, I don't really see the point, but I guess it's more related to his personality. He seems to be like super eccentric. All right, so next news, bearish news from the UK. So the regulator in the UK decided to ban the crypto derivatives. So like anything like futures or options on Bitcoin and Ether, like this is now illegal in the UK. So this is just a ban that they can enforce on centralized exchanges, but for everything that is on the blockchain with a smart contract, they have absolutely no mean to enforce these bans. So even though it's going to hurt a little bit, for DeFi, I don't think it changed much really. It's just that Binance, for example, if they wanted to introduce some future or some option on DeFi in the UK, they won't be able to do it. But if you want to launch your DeFi project in the UK, you shouldn't have really a problem. Yeah, I mean, this is I don't think a lot of countries are going to follow suit. I think the UK is going to be pretty isolated here. I don't think this is a really big deal. So okay, so that's it for the news for DeFi. So now we're going to switch to the news for developers. So first, there was a new version of Remix that was released. Remix, which is the editor for Solidity, the most popular online IDE for Solidity. So now you can add your own version of Web3 provider. So I'm going to explain what it means exactly. So a plugin already make use of this. That's the plugin for Wallet Connect. That's a project to use some mobile wallet, but from your laptop. And so that means that from now, you will be able to try out your DApp, your blockchain app in Remix. You can try it in Remix exactly like your user would use them, for example, using a mobile wallet. But before, instead of that, you were forced to interact, to use Metamask with Remix. So that was a little bit less realistic if you want to really test your DApp exactly like your user. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. It's really, really big improvement for Remix. Then, so there is this new project, Smock. This is a package to generate smart contract mock. So what are mock and why does this matter? So first, it's always super important to test your smart contract. After you deploy a smart contract, it's impossible to modify the code. So you need to make sure before you deploy a smart contract that everything is right. So for that, you need to test your smart contract. And when you test your smart contract, usually you want to create a mock. So what is a mock? So a mock is a sort of a simplified object that represent something in programming. So in our case, it's going to be like a simplified representation of a smart contract. So maybe that your smart contract interact with many other smart contracts, and when you test this, you want to mock this other smart contract you interact with, because maybe you don't have them deploy on your local development blockchain. And so for that, you need to create mock. But create a mock it can be super boring, it can take time. So with this package, you can create mock very easily and test your blockchain project much more easily. So currently it only works for the Builder framework, but I hope that they will add support for Truffle soon, because even though Builder is like the new up-and-coming project framework for smart contract, Truffle is still the most popular one. And the last news for developer is a new release of Typechain. So Typechain is a project to work with TypeScript in your blockchain project. So this is for the front end. So why this matters? Because if you want to specialize in front-end development for blockchain, so a couple of videos ago, I mentioned the different kind of specialization you can have to really become very high-end on the blockchain, and front-end is one of them. And if you want to specialize in front-end, TypeScript is super important. I personally don't like TypeScript because it introduces some complexities. I don't like to deal with it, but if you position yourself as a front-end expert on the blockchain market, you need to know TypeScript, otherwise you won't be taken seriously. And so you probably also need to know this package, Typechain. All right, so that's it for the main part where I talk. So now I'm going to, it's up to you guys. You're gonna ask me a question. We start the Q&A. So quickly, quick shout out to my courses just before we start. Yeah, 6-figure blockchain developer and the course on profitable flash loan. I just paste them. All right, paste them in the chat. Okay. So now I'm going up in the chat and I'm going to check out the different questions. So THX, Trayroot, Logdu, Ujo, Mijo, Senix saying you sounds like a robot, but I am a robot. This is normal. You don't know? You think I'm real? No, Julian is a robot, man. I'm AI. Micha saying wise word. Oh, thank you. THX say, did I mention that other YouTube channel that summer camp introduced to me? Musupasit saying, I'm just starting learning Solidity. Thanks for your great tutorial. Yeah, glad you like it. Yeah, I have a big series on Solidity on my channel. Like, people really like it. Oh, Angus is here. Hi, Angus. Oscar is here. Say what's up. Dominic, more like Borat. I love Borat. You have no idea. Like, it's my idol. Like, really, I'm so frustrated. That was just one movie of Borat. Seriously, like, I don't understand. Like, it's just, yeah, man. And now he's doing like super serious movie and like political movie. Like, really, he just broke my heart. You know, it's yeah. Oscar saying, thanks for the DeFi video. I'm a blockchain developer responsible for such cryptocurrencies at Brazil at +1 coin. Oh, I don't know this project. I'm in the middle of creating a DeFi project of my own. Cool. Well, on my channel, I have a lot of tutorial for DeFi stuff. For bit trading, saying, great what? I don't know. Okay, well, seems like for the Q&A tonight we don't have too many questions, so I think we're gonna wrap it up soon. Oh, Angus saying, man, I think there's another Borat movie coming out next month. Seriously? No way. Is it by the real Borat, or is it like a copycat? Oh man, like, oh, you made my day. Thanks, Angus, for telling me this. Oh, it's amazing. Like, usually the best movie, they are always in December, you know, like it suck all year, and then like just in December you're like, okay, I'm gonna binge like 10 movies at a time. Yeah. Micha saying, thanks for keeping me in the loop and the amazing development video. Keep up the great work, man. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, glad you enjoyed. All right. Yeah, it's by the real Borat. Oh man, this is awesome. Hey, maybe we should do a a sort of DeFi protocol for Borat, man. Maybe a game or something. I need to think about it. I need to think like how it works exactly. And actually, I'm thinking of making a tutorial for DeFi NFT, because as I mentioned in the video, like DeFi NFT, it's going to be the next big thing. So I might do a tutorial on DeFi NFT to create a prediction market for the US election. So who's going to win, like Trump or Biden, and how we can make these bets on the blockchain. So yeah, I might release this this week. We're gonna see. THX saying that even currency base of pop culture from the internet, like TikTok coin and Dogecoin. Yeah, Dogecoin. I think that was a coin. Angus saying that wah protocol. I mean, seriously, man, I think this is a great idea. But like, after we need to find a gameplay. You know, like I mean, what's the kind of game that Borat does? I mean, I have some idea, but the thing is, you get like so politically incorrect, man. You're going to be like crucified on Twitter. Team saying, am I talking of a tutorial on creating NFT Marketplace? Yeah, kind of. I mean, the tutorial I'm thinking about is probably going to be a little bit more simple. It's going to be just focused on one specific bet type. But maybe after that I could do another one to sort of like generalize this tutorial and do a marketplace where you can create like different kind of bet. But maybe like another approach would be a market. If you do a marketplace for like art NFT, I think that one would be easier to do. But if you do a marketplace for NFT that represents some DeFi stuff like prediction market, insurance option, then it gets more complex because like you have more parameters, so probably the UI is going to be complex. And also I don't really know how you can show a sort of aggregate of the data. For example, for normal decentralized exchange, you can show you can choose some aggregate feature, but when you have derivative like custom product, it becomes more difficult. But there is probably a solution. Yeah. Oscar saying, if you host another live stream soon, I can airdrop some of my token to your viewer. I think they will enjoy that. Yeah, I mean, Oscar, you can send me an email, like in the description of each of my video. You have my email. You can tell me a bit more about your project. Dominique is saying TensorFlow. Oh, you want to mix AI with blockchain? Oh man, like I think like this is the most complex stuff. A couple of years ago, I was approached by some recruiter and say, hey man, like, do you want to work on this new project? It's like AI for blockchain, man. I thought my brain would melt, so I didn't dare to do it seriously. I don't feel like I'm Einstein yet. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. So thanks everybody for coming to the show, and stay tuned for the remainder of this week because there are gonna be some other cool tutorials on my channel. All right, guys. Have a good day. Peace. See you soon. Cheers.